moon leap the view. The constellation screen the rise of a mighty nation. I'm frontlining, fighting for its preservation. My dedication as a soldier for the Lord brings a sword to the frauds that be frontin' like they hard. But they won't pop a cop who fires 41 shots from they Glocks in a black man on Bronx blocks. The marching in the streets needs to stop. We need to load up and roll up justice from a sniper shot. Burn your home, I'm a fire starter. Rather be a Malcolm X martyr than to die like a coward.
Peace, power, prosperity, grand rising. Good morning. Welcome to planet Earth. I know this is early. I took the best nap in America. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Those who are tapped in, I know a lot of people going to watch the replay. I'm going to try to run through this. I got some slides. I got some video. And, let's get right into it. It's been a crazy day. A lot of purging went on yesterday with this whole Katt Williams thing, A lot of purging has been happening. Yo, Katt went in on these celebrities and exposing what Kwame Brown has coined the go along, get along gang, right? And I think he coined that back in 2000. We was talking about, these secret societies within Hollywood or Hollyweird, right? Whenever you're dealing with Hollywood, you're also dealing with an aspect of magic. Oh, let me announce myself. For those of you who don't know, my name is Rob Blackstorm. I am your spiritual, esoteric, metaphysical, and occult guide. And I am here to talk about the recent events of Katt Williams on the Club Shay Shay podcast, which recently went viral. I watched it in pieces. I'm, blessed enough to work from home. So while I was working, I would catch it and pause it, catch it and pause it. So I ended up watching it. And then I went back and watched some more of it. Ended up falling asleep. So I woke up. I was like, let me just compile some things, put some things to the family. There's a lot of signs and symbols. If you really look at this, I don't really want to get too much in the celebrity aspect of it because that's not really the most important part of this video. All right, what he's exposing. By this point, you should know. Or if you don't know, you should know. Well, actually, let me appeal to y'all root chakra real quick, and then I'm going to appeal to your higher consciousness, right? So I'll share some of the things that he talked about with some of these celebrities, just so you could kind of get an idea of where he was going and the lane he was in. And then we'll come back and talk about, what the real gems, because there was a lot of gems in this actual video, if you know where to look. And if you are actually looking for gems. Now, if you're looking for gossip, there's also a ton of gossip in this video. All right. And pretty much if you have Instagram and you go on Instagram, you could hit these clips. And if you're just there for the gossip, right, you could get the gossip where he talks about the celebrities in depth and what he did and what he didn't do, and so forth and so on. For me personally, I believe 95% of everything that he's saying. And if you saw the video, he said some things about oh, peace, Ultra Instinct, peace, and FN Shaka as well. He said some things that were about Cedric the Entertainer not having any videos on Netflix, which isn't true. Cedric the Entertainer does have a video on Netflix. And he not having anything on Tubi. Cedric the Entertainer does have a video on Tubi. So those aren't necessarily true. But everything else, I'm a researcher by nature. I'm a Scorpio. Everybody that's a Scorpio, we're natural detectives, natural researchers. If you're a man and you got a woman that's a Scorpio, you better keep it real with her, because she's going to research and know and be able to see through you, So if you got a Scorpio woman, fellas, be careful, all right? And the same thing, if you got a Scorpio man, you playing games, be careful. Because we're going to know this is something that we love to do. We love to find the secrets. We love to filter out through the bullshit. We love to see through the depths, all right? But this is just one aspect of the zodiac, all right? We all have all 12 zodiacs flowing within us through the whole 28-day moon cycle. So we have all aspects of the zodiac that we can tap in, which are just different personas, right? Or different solar points or light waves or information or ways of being, right? Your persona is your light, right? If I come out and I'm like, come on into that like this right now, right? You'd be like, damn, what's going on? He's mad angry, right? He's in a very aggressive, maybe bullish, right? Taurus type of attitude, right? But if I'm laid back and I'm talking like this, and I'm just, being smooth and, talking in a very low monotone voice, you could kind of relate that to maybe even like a Cancer, you could relate that to a Virgo type of energy, right? So we have different aspects to us that correspond to the different aspects of the zodiac, right? But since we talked about Cedric, let's just play the clip. Like I said, I'm touching again. I don't really care about this celebrity portion of this. I'm doing this for y'all. I don't care about this part. I'm going to show you the parts I do care about, and then we're going to get into the symbolism that you probably watched this video and had no idea what you were seeing. But it corresponds to 2024, corresponds to Saturn, Kali Ma. We're going to get all into it. Oh boy. All right. So let us get this thing playing. Shout out to everybody who was tapped in, hit that like button so we could get this message out. Let's play this set joint since this is what I was talking about. Let me mute my mic real quick so it doesn't double play. All right, here we go.
Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said it don't line up. How it don't line up? He thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know. Right. The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice. Right. It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke. Okay. 1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship. Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times and Katt didn't do, as I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach. There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would you downplay me like that? Why did I give you a pass if you were just gonna lie? Cedric's sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What? It's a situation. He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer. Right. We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. You don't think Cedric's a good comedian? The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi. And this is the age of truth. And the truth doesn't need to be scared of the fact that people tell lies. Katt's on drugs. Where are the stories? Why is there no story of anybody who ever sold a drug to me, did a drug with me, was around me when I was inebriated? I got 5 daughters. I got 5 sons. Why would we tell these ridiculous stories? Because it's competition.
Now, I'm reading Katt Williams won Cedric the Entertainer's and Anheuser-Busch Best Los Angeles Comic Award. Did you win that award, won Katt Williams? It's a simple yes or no. It's not a rhetorical question.
It's a question that probably should have been asked to Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm asking you. I got you here, though.
I know. I couldn't believe Cedric didn't get asked that question. You steal a dude's joke and they give him an award, and then 10 years later you don't know nothing about it. Hey, but I promise you this.
What?
If he sees me again before he sees you, he'll be talking different when you see him. That's for certain. That's the difference. That's what these comics understand, is that I'm not doing nothing for clout. I don't even recognize clout. But eventually the Lord is going to let me and you be in one hallway. A lot of these dudes go.
But you did win the award. How did the award help your career? It had to help something, Katt.
Nope. No.
God, come on, Katt.
I didn't remember it happened to you. Just said it. How can Cedric give you an award that was worth something? Everything Cedric and Ricky Smiley ever been in got canceled for not being funny. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up? He thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did.
So I don't want to get into like the personal aspect. So here's the aspect to me that's the most important part and what this video is going to be about. I really just showed y'all that to show y'all the tone of where he was going, where he's going in that interview. It's definitely, if you want to watch it, it's about a little over 2 hours, but it's definitely entertaining. And to me, it's informative. There's a lot of jewels, and I'm going to share one right now. All right. So I don't want to get fined by.
That's all. As a journalist, that's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and that she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I never know one of these.
Amen.
So yeah, that's the theme of this particular lecture that I'm going to give y'all. Like everything's is up. Everything's going to get exposed. Everything is getting exposed. And this includes you. All right. That is you. You that are watching this, you that are viewing this, you that hopefully have hit the like button. All right. By now, you that have hit the subscribe button by now, because I'm about to go in. All right. So now let's remember when we talk about media, media is a goddess. Okay. Media is an entity, a deity, right? Media is the goddess of illusion. Okay. So whenever you're dealing with media or you're dealing with Hollywood, okay, the Hollywood is an actual piece of wood, right? It's called a Hollywood. And in that area of Beverly Hills, right, where Hollywood is located or close by, right, that's where they used to grow what they call Hollywood. But Hollywood is a magic wand, right, to weave illusions, right, glamour magic, right, to make you see things that, that the way that the powers that were want you to see things. It's a social engineering tool. It's a tool to influence, right? It's a tool to move. It's a tool to stimulate. It's a tool to take you off track, right? I remember looking at hood movies, right, in the 90s, living in New York City as a kid, 16, 15 years old. And they never had drive-bys in New York City. What happened was they started playing Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and all of a sudden, the violence in New York City changed. It changed into niggas was doing drive-bys, right? They was popping out the window. Rest in peace to my boy Kenyatta. He got shot because of a drive-by. This is the influence of media, and I've told y'all this story before. Before my boy Kenyatta got shot, my stomach started hurting. I had a headache, and something. My voice in my head was just telling me, "Go home, go home, go home, go home." And actually, the voice was telling me first, and then my stomach started hurting, and then I was forced to go home. And literally, I went home for 15 minutes, did what I had to do in the bathroom, came back out, and my boy was dead. Right. I was the tallest one out of all my friends, still am to my childhood friends. I would have definitely been one of, most likely, right? Can't say definitely, most likely I would have been one of the victims, right? So yeah, exactly. Media, right? Same shit. You can see you can see the through line in all of them. So again, this go along, get along gang, which is what he talks about also in the video, is a real thing. And there's groups and there's societies within there. When people talk about selling, there's a lot of things in the quote unquote conscious community where people talk about selling souls and buying souls, right? Well, how do you sell your soul? Well, obviously, you don't take a soul out of your body, right? Because your soul is literally your body, right? You power your solar or your solar energy from your bottom three chakras, right? Your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus, right? It tells you solar plexus. Okay, so your soul's energy is really your energetic body. That's what powers your heart, which is the engine of your body, and your electromagnetic field, right? The electricity is what you put out. That's based on your emotions, and that emotion, right, is what causes your magnetism. Okay, so it is what brings in what they call the law of attraction, or causes things to come with you, right? Come to you, right? Come at you for you to manifest what you want is really based on who you are, right? You don't get what you want, you get who you are, right? This is why it's so important when you are doing this spiritual work to heal and transcend your childhood traumas, right? If you don't, you're going to end up being in these situations for money, for paper money, which is the new God, right? Which is the new God right now. That's why there's an eye on the dollar bill, right? That's why you see Egyptian symbolism like Heru on the dollar bill, because the dollar bill has become the new God. People will do anything to go viral right now. People will do anything for attention. People will do anything for money. And we've all, not by now, right? The stories with Diddy, TD Jakes, these celebrities that Katt Williams pointed out in the video. Again, you could go through it, watch it, look at it, right? He breaks it all down, and he's not hating, right? He's not hating at all. So it's really just about people and things being exposed right now. But you are also being exposed right now. Because as above, so below. Like I said in my last video, what you see happening in the stars is happening right here on Earth. So the celebrities that are the quote unquote stars, right? That's happening right here on Earth right now. So this is happening with you, whether you choose to admit it or not. There's something within you that is forcing you to look at things a certain way. And that certain way is, what is my higher purpose? What is it that I need to eliminate? Many of you may be masking it with drugs, with alcohol, right? With shopping, whatever your addictions are, right? But even being a workaholic. But eventually, you're going to have to face your truth. And that's what's happening to these celebrities, as you can see, right? There was another celebrity breakup today. I saw with the bachelor, the black woman bachelor. Caucasian husband broke up with her, right? And the pilgrim said he wanted child support from the sister. Not child support, sorry. He said he wanted spousal support from the sister. 2024, a Caucasian man wants spousal support from a melanated woman, right? Ain't that a B? And they got married on TV. So these are all the illusions that are shattering, that are falling apart, right? So I just want to show you the signs and symbols of the times that you may have missed in this Katt Williams video that you may not have even seen, right? So let's get into this. Let me just load this up for y'all and we will get it started. Hope y'all all right. Like this video up, all right? We about to get it started and get into the meat and potatoes. I'm gonna try to keep this short. Y'all know I could do these long 4-hour videos, but I ain't trying to do that today, this morning. All right. Get to the point, my nigga. All right. Let me make sure y'all can see what I'm seeing. All right, perfect. So Katt Williams, all right, he started this video talking about he was a Jehovah's Witness. Okay. I too, it was a Jehovah's Witness, or grew up under the Jehovah's Witness pantheon. Jehovah's Witness organization is a Masonic organization at its core. It is a cult in the most senses of a cult. Now, all religions are cults, right? Even the traditional African ones, right? They're all cults. Anytime you have a group of people following one cause, one mission, cult is short for culture, right? Occult. The word occult is hidden culture. So a cult is nothing but a unit of people that are being cultivated or being nurtured or being formed in the same manner. Just like you cultivate a plant, you water it, right? You make sure it has the right amount of sun. You put nutrients in the soil. It's the same thing that happens in any cult. So the Jehovah's Witness cult, right? If you dig deep into the history, Charles Taze Russell, you'll find out it has Freemasonic roots, right? But it is very isolation oriented, separate you from your family, right? We only have the truth, separate you from the world, right? And you just got to stay insulated with us. So he breaks down how he had to get up out that particular situation, right? As a youth. He said he read 8,000 books between 5 and 12. Whether he did or didn't, that's not what we're here to debate. It's really just the number, right? The number 8. Number 8 represents Saturn, the planet Saturn at best, right? We are in 2024. 2024, 2 plus 2 is 4, right? And you have 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. You don't count the 0 in 2024. So this is an 8 year according to numerology, according to supreme mathematics of the gods, the 5% nation. It's a number of build and destroy. Okay. You either build or you're destroying. And in order to build, you have to destroy. Katt Williams chose violence. He chose violence. He chose to destroy. And the thing is, most of the people that he were attacking, besides people who caught strays here and there, like Tyler Perry and so forth, were people that said something about him on Club Shay Shay's podcast. Because I watch Club Shay Shay's podcast, Shannon Sharp's podcast. I enjoy Shannon Sharp. He's hilarious to me, right? And I love to laugh. So his genesis was this. Now, what I really want y'all to look at, right, is his particular chain, okay? His necklace. This is one of the most important part of the video, okay, that we're going to talk about. This chain. If you look at this chain, it says, actually, let me do this. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, we'll do it like this. If you look at this chain, though, you'll see that he has a. It says, well, you can't see it, but what it says is woke folk, right? And folk is spelled Foke, right? Hopefully, me blowing it up, y'all can see it better. But I ain't gonna lie to you. Take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all believe Planet Risk and Club Nibiru was coming to save you anyway, so you should be able to believe this easier than that.
Another one.
So, folk, it says woke folk, right? And what he is saying in this particular podcast, right, is basically that he is waking folk up, right? This is not what he's saying directly, but this is what the chain is saying, okay? And if you look on the chain, woke and folk is what? 8 letters, okay? It's 8 letters long, which also corresponds to the planet Saturn, all right? We're going to get there, don't worry. I ain't going to slow walk y'all either. We're going to be on this slide for a couple of seconds, and we're going to keep it moving. All right. I just want you to see the symbolism as we continue to go. And the reason I'm even showing you the symbolism is so when you go, you know, about your day-to-day life and you see things, you know, on the street or cars or whatever, you'll be able to see some of the symbolism you know, as well. But the main reason is so you could interpret your dreams. Okay. You can interpret your dreams and your nightmares. When you have dreams, if you notice, you barely, if ever, hear words, okay? And if you do hear words, it's usually some type of symbolism behind it that may be weird, that may be odd, that may be strange, that you don't understand. Because the first language is signs and symbols, okay? Before there was a word called word, there was signs and symbols, images, objects, okay? So this is how you learn. When your mother taught you, or your father or the school teacher or whoever, right, caretaker said A is for apple. They showed you the letter A and they showed you an apple. When they said O, they showed you O is for orange and they showed you an orange. This is how you're able to pick it up much quicker rather than you just seeing the letter A. It would have taken you forever to learn just left brain action, right? That's a left brain action just showing you the letter A, but showing you A and showing you an apple. Now the apple part, what it does, it affects your right brain, okay? So both symbols come together and this is what allows you to speed up your learning, okay? And allows you to be educated. The word educated, educe, means to come from within. In this Western hemisphere, right, they're not trying to let you learn from within because when you learn from within, that means you are tapping into the God within you. That's not what they want. They want you to be a sheep. This is what the powers that were want. All right. And the battle is never against people of other colors or cultures. No matter what your favorite influencers tell you, that it's about people from Africa or people from the Caribbean or people from the South or people from the North or people from the West. It's never about that. That's for sheep too. Those simple human wars, right? It's always about the powers that were, who really won the world and are really trying to influence you. And the best weapon you could have is your spirituality and your divine character. Why? Because that lasts longer than you will ever live. Your character and your effect on the planet will last longer than you will ever live. Your children's children will talk about grandpa and grandma. One day there will be AI. One day there will be AI that is going to compile all your social media posts, all your comments, all the things that you've liked, all the websites that you've gone to. Hopefully not the porn. Hopefully not the XNXXX. Hopefully they don't compile that, but they're going to compile everything else. And they're going to make a virtual composite of you. That virtual composite of you is going to tell your great, great, great grandparents who you were. And the things that you put out and you put out in social media that I think is so harmless and it's just entertainment and blah, blah, blah. Imagine the people that just are putting out, selfies all day. And they great grandkids, all they got is pretty pictures. They ain't get no wisdom from grandma or great, great, great grandpa in the year 2050. They ain't get no wisdom from grandma in the year 3000 from great, 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 great grandpa. All right. So this is the world that we're heading into. So you're the new star. You're the new celebrity. That's what my last video was about. Even though it was brief, this is what I was about when I was talking about the Epstein list. All right. And I'm getting long-winded. Let me keep going. Okay. So woke folk this is about an inner awakening. Now, if you look at, we'll get to that. But looking at his symbolism, okay, of what he's wearing, you'll see there are 8 spokes on this particular wheel of fortune, okay? Anybody who has ever looked at the tarot cards, right? There is let me see something. Let's see, while I'm talking, I can pull this up. But there is something called the Wheel of Fortune on the tarot cards, right? And see if I can pull one up. But that's what he has on his neck. That symbolism is a wheel or a wheel of fortune. And Katt Williams, I say, this is not a guy that's just a dumb, regular guy. This guy at 10 years old was a member of Mensa, right? According to him, right? Now, I've seen things on social media where people have said that is true, I haven't thoroughly fact-checked it, but let's just ride with it. If the guy read 8,000 books, right? So he's basically just by the symbol saying that he is waking folk up, woke folk, right? He's waking folk up. That's the number 8 letters. And if you look on the wheel, there's also 8 spokes on the wheel itself. And the color black is also corresponding to Saturn, which we will get into. Almost at the bottom of this tarot deck. I do not see. Oh, here it is. Okay. So if you see the symbolism, right, just to show you, okay, let me pull this up real quick. So that's the same symbolism, right, that is on his neck. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So he is basically saying that. So he's spitting that dragon fire, right? This is the year of the wood dragon. Okay. So he's spitting that fire, right? And if you look on the back or if you look at the background scenery, right? Or even his neck, right? With the Fendi, it looks like wood. It looks like a tree. Okay. That looks like a tree bark, that color brown. Even the chair, even behind it, okay, looks like wood. Right? The color of wood. All right. So just showing you the symbolism and what you could see moving forward in the color black. Let's go into more of the symbolism and what it really means. Okay. So 2024 equals 8. All right. This 8 on the left, this is dealing with energy moving through the body. Okay. How energy moves through the body. So let's go. The number 8 is formed by 2 circles, symbolizing endless cycles of birth and death, existence and enlightenment. All things that are created by the one get transformed, destroyed, and again recreated in different form. So what Katt's doing as this dragon fire, he is transforming and destroying, okay, and recreating things in different form. All right. And right now, the whole comedy industry, the entertainment industry is on tilt right now, all right? Because Hollywood got to die because media is the realm of illusions. And Saturn is here to destroy all illusion. Okay. Saturn is all about structure, which we'll get into. Okay. So we have to create, and again, we don't just want to look at them, we got to look at us and what do we have to recreate? What has to die within us? All right. What sacrifice we have to make. Hence, contrast aspects of number 8 is seen in lives of sentient beings. The inner meaning of number 8, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the wheel. All right. The inner meaning of number 8 should be deeply understood. All sentient beings are auspicious ones and pure ones in reality. But the ignorance of their separate identity, again, you thinking, even though we all breathe the same air, eat the same water, eating from the same soil as the animals, right? We all watched The Lion King. We know about the circle of life. You watched it with your kids. You maybe watch it again, right? You seen the live action. You seen the cartoon, okay? And we've all watched it, right, at this point, because I don't have any children watching based on my metrics. So you've seen The Lion King, and we know about the circle of life, right? So we really think that we're separate, right? Even though we talk about the universe and we talk about oneness and we talk about the all, right? We still think that we're separate because we're in this human avatar body. But that is an illusion. The ignorance of their separate identity and due to the innumerable attributes created by this ignorance has resulted in manifestation of beings with suffering, joy, and mixed attributes, yin yang, up and down, all right? Unless one realizes their inherent innate divinity in them, suffering will not cease to exist, okay? The truth is what a number 8 strives to make humans realize, okay? Again, the number 8, okay? Said he read 8,000 books, okay? Dragonfire. If you look at this picture on the left, you see at the bottom, there is a sun, all right? Representing coming from the root chakra and the energy going up the 33 vertebrae of the spine up into the brain, right? Up into the higher 3 chakras, which would be the throat, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra, all right? Which is where you get that illumination. But you got to have the fuel in the bottom 3 chakras, right? And the oneness of balance in the heart chakra, which you see in this crisscross pattern, which is right by the heart chakra right here, where you see it crisscross, and then it goes up, right? But takes energy, it takes fire, it takes fuel, and it takes burning of the bullshit, all right? It's not about perfection. This is about day-to-day work, taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, okay? Every day is a new day. No matter what you're going through in life right now, you could transform today. It's early enough. You could say, I'm going to make a change today. And you're going to go through battles from your old self, right? The fire of your old self, your old desires, whether it's trying to quit cigarettes or not drink today or take a day off from smoking weed. And let me say this about smoking weed real quick. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if you can't go a day without smoking weed, you are addicted. That's just a fact. You're addicted to weed, and that's an addiction. Now, people say they use it for stress. People say they use it for depression, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of herbs and other things you could use for depression, for stress, right, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of things you could use, a ton of herbs. St. John's wort, right? Write it down if you don't know. St. John's wort, ashwagandha, motherfucking meditation, which I always talk about, will give you the same high eventually. Shit, mushrooms, right? Take a mushroom every once in a while. Not even that every day, microdosing, which people are, pushing heavy. Anything outside of yourself that you have to use to be at peace, to be God, right, is a limit to you, and eventually will have some sort of neurological, psychological damage. You won't remember things, right? You have a bad short-term memory, right? All these things everything has a yin and yang, right? So the more you use or abuse something is the worse it will be, okay? So again, we still talking about the symbolism of Katt Williams, all right? So the truth is what is number 8. Here it is, 8 again, all right? 8 on the wheel, 8 on the wheel of fortune, all right? This is what's going to lead to your fortune. We all want to get rich, right? We all want to be financially healthy. We all want to have loving, kind, great people in our lives. It's going to take you moving that wheel, right? And starting from day one. And you got to seed your subconscious. You have to seed this in your subconscious in order to make the fire go, right? When you see Godzilla and he's loading up, okay, that heat comes from the root. It comes from the bottom of his tail, and then it goes up the spine, and then he is able to use his heka or his voice or his spit out his beam, right, and burst out, right. I saw Godzilla -1, so that's just always going to be in my head. It's one of the best movies I've seen in the last couple of years. If you can go see Godzilla -1, all right. But even if you've seen any Godzilla movie, you know he charges up and then he's able to spit fire. It's the same thing with your magic. It's the same thing with your transformation. It's the same thing with your growth. So the truth is what a number 8 strives to make humans realize: whenever a suffering or misery occurs, there exists a natural bliss and freedom too. Okay. So if you're going through something right now, it's not the end of the world. All right. It doesn't mean that, everything's going to fall apart and things will not always be like this. I look, when I was young, my mom used to kick me out a lot. I slept on the 2 train, the 5 train in New York City a lot of times. I slept in my mom's backyard a lot of times, right? Cold, freezing, right? Starving, barely sleeping, right? Still going to school the next day, right? So there's a lot of childhood trauma that I've experienced, right? That I've had to transmute, and I'm still transmuting, right? And I'm still working on a day-to-day basis. But I am, doing my best to take the steps. And sometimes you got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of where you are in life. Nobody changes just off a YouTube video. Nobody changes off a great sermon by T.D. Jakes or Joel Osteen. Nobody changes because Tariq Nasheed says, we're gonna get reparations. No, that's not what's gonna change you. What's gonna change you is when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of where you are and where you're going. When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of the people you're interacting with and the circles that you're around, right? People could give you advice all day, but it's an inner fire in the wood of your flesh that causes you to say, I want a different light. I want different information. I want to see things from a different perspective. And as long as you nurture that fire, with the way you think and the way you feel, right? Thoughts, emotions, action, T, the real T, not the gossip T, not the Tasha K T, not the Wendy Williams T, the real T. Once you are nurturing that fire every day with certain rituals, then and only then will you receive the bliss of divinity. And this bliss goes whether the world is falling or crashing or not. All right? You'll be able to go within and source information. Whenever suffering or misery occurs, there exists a natural bliss and freedom too. The wisdom of one's natural state cannot be achieved by mere contemplation. It needs outer influences such as knowledge from wise masters, which I humbly come to you, and holy doctrines, and more than that, thorough meditation and insight. Okay, again, you see the number 8 right here. Okay, it's 2024, 8 right here again. All right, let's keep going. So Saturn's influences, lessons, and challenges. Okay, Saturn deals with the color black. We'll get into that shortly. Okay, and Saturn obviously has rings. Okay, let's see what Saturn really means. Again, we're still talking about Katt Williams. We're still talking about the video. We're still talking about the wood dragon. We're still talking about the symbolism. In fact, if you look at the rings right here, you make sure y'all still with me. All right. When you look at the rings right here, you will see that the rings look just like the rings on his motherfucking hat. Look at the hat. Look at Saturn. Okay, this is how you understand and are able to catch and glimpse the jewels that the universe is trying to give you, and not get caught up in what he's saying about Ricky Smiley or what he's saying about Cedric the Entertainer. That's gossip shit. That's human shit. That's what they pumping. Even if you look online, that's what they pumping. He had so many other jewels in that interview, even about dealing with toxic people, right? But they're focused strictly on and dealing with, like, he talked about Kanye, and he had so many other jewels, but this is what they're talking about. All right. Saturn, the ruling planet of discipline and structure, casts its influence on the events unfolding in 2024. This celestial body often brings lessons through challenges, encouraging growth and maturity. All right. Under Saturn's watchful eye, let me change this a bit. Give me a second. All right. Under Saturn's watchful eye, societal structures may undergo significant transformations. Institutions, governments, and established systems might face pressure to adapt and evolve. There might be an increased focus on accountability. There is an increased focus on accountability. That's what the whole Katt Williams video was talking about, right? You're not just going to lie. You're not going to Steve Harvey. You're not going to say you were homeless when you weren't homeless. You know, Ricky Smiley, you're not going to say you were Money Mike when you weren't Money Mike. You know, you're not going to talk about Kanye West at the same time bash him, but then at the same time say he has mental health issues. So you're literally bashing someone that has mental health issues and talking trash about someone who has clearly said they have mental health issues. Instead of showing the man love and grace, right? And love, I don't mean hugs and kisses and the shit you learned about Valentine's Day. I'm talking about having empathy and compassion and putting yourself in his shoes. That is what love is. And that's what we really got to start understanding, what the real definition of love is. It's empathy. There's nothing to do with what you watch on, these romance movies or romance novels. Love is empathy. And I don't have to feel anything for someone to have empathy for them, right? I don't have to be connected to someone to have empathy for them. I can see somebody in motherfucking Australia going through something and have empathy for what they're going through. That's what love is. Love is me being able to put myself in their shoes and feel what they're going through, if I so choose to. All right. And if I don't so choose to be all right and still have love for them, but still focus on my love, which is your self-love is always going to be the first love that you should have. So Saturn, the ruling planet of discipline and structure, casts its influence on the events unfolding in 2024. All right. So Saturn is about different. Wait, did I read that? Yeah, I read that already. All right. Under Saturn's watchful eye, societal structures may undergo significant transformations. So we're seeing that on a day-to-day, right? Cryptocurrency is on the rise around the world, right? They're not talking about it here, but it is. All right. If you look at different countries like Venezuela, if you look in countries like Zimbabwe and different parts of South Africa, even West Africa, well, not West Africa, but South Africa, parts of East Africa, right? Where cryptocurrency is on the rise. These are also the countries where BRICS is making their move: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, right? So a lot of things are transforming. We see all these migrants coming to America willy-nilly, right? Walking through the border like it's nothing, all right? With no borders, so to speak, right? So significance, this is what's happening right now, all right? And we see that. A lot of you had crazy years last year where a lot of things were just falling apart. Relationships, there's record homelessness, record repossessions, record foreclosures on homes, right? A lot of people, you don't see these things on social media, but a lot of people are going through it, right? Record homelessness, all right? Record suicides, all right? So people need help, all right? People need change. And you got to go through the healing process, even if it hurts. Institutions, governments, and adapted systems might face pressure to adapt and evolve. There might be an increased focus on accountability, ethics, and the reformation of outdated practices. Individually, Saturn's influence may prompt introspection, 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 not outer spection, and self discipline. The discipline of self, the most important discipline in the world. If you don't discipline yourself, guess what? Society will. All right. And take that from someone who's a former, quote unquote, ex prisoner. All right. If you don't govern yourself, society will. And maybe you don't go to prison, but you'll be in a prison. You'll be in a mental lockdown, a mental prison, right? That you can't escape from because you're not taking time for introspection in order to develop self discipline. People may find themselves reevaluating their responsibilities, relationships, and long term commitments. This period could serve as a time for personal growth, emphasizing the importance of perseverance and resilience in the face of obstacles. Okay. So, this ain't going to be an easy time. All right. This ain't going to be a time where, everything's just going to go your way and you're just going to be able to manifest everything, and you get your little herbs, and you get your candles and you get your crystals, and that's all you got to do. Not in the 8 year. Not in the 8 year. If you ever went through a Saturn return, right, usually around 30 years of age, right, you go through a Saturn return, and some people is different depending on your birth chart. When you're going through this time, everything starts to fall apart, right? Shit just starts going left, right, up, down, right, uppercut, side to side, right? Things just start happening out of nowhere. And you may think you've gotten hexed by an evil witch. You may think that someone is putting something on you, right? You may think it's the demons, right? The spirits, right? What the demiurge, right? All these fucking fantastic things outside of yourself, even though you're in the occult, but I digress, right? You're still looking for shit outside of yourself based on European teachings of magic, but I digress. You're going through these things and these hardships so that you could develop spiritual power. I say it again, you're going through these hardships so you could develop spiritual power. Any challenge that you have is a challenge that you could beat. They say in the church that God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. And that's the truth. Just because it's a church truth doesn't mean it's not the truth. Just because it's a church truth does not mean it's not the truth. There's nothing you can't handle. It's up to you to go within, do the introspection, silence, walks through nature, grounding, binaural beats, isochronic tones, meditation, laughter, diet, all these different tools, yoga, qigong, right? All these different tools that stir energy, dance, ritual, are the things that will allow you now to gain that spiritual power and gain the lesson from whatever you're going through. But if you don't face that past of yours, you don't face that trauma of yours, you can only heal what you reveal, ladies and gentlemen. That you're going to be stuck in a mental prison or that trap of Saturn. Let's continue going. And again, we're still talking about, give y'all the goods before they're supposed to come. Hold up. Still talking about Katt Williams. We still talking about this chain. We still talking about woke folk, and we still talking about the dragon fire that you got to cultivate within. Let's continue. So now we know Saturn is what he's doing. Now, Katt Williams has also always been a truth teller. Okay. This is my introduction to Katt Williams back in the day was the Pimp Chronicles Part 1. If you've never seen this video, okay, Definitely go watch it. It is hilarious. And he's, one of the famous lines is he was in, one of these secret society parties, one of these Hollywood parties, right? Or Hollyweird parties, as it's being coined now. And he was, in the party, and he's he notices he's seeing all these different celebrities and people that he's seen on TV. He's new to the game at this point, right? He's just getting his recognition from being on Ice Cube's movie Next Friday, which he mentions in the podcast with Shannon Sharp. And one of the famous lines he says from walking in the party is, "That you, Professor Ogilvy?" Right? Seeing Professor Ogilvy from the Parkers, the series The Parkers, the sitcom The Parkers, in the actual spot. All right. And the thing is, on the right, I should say, this is Kali Ma. Kali Ma also represents Saturn. But I want you to notice one thing, right? And let me see in the comments if you figure this out, okay? Look at this picture of Katt Williams. Look at the colors he's wearing. And look at this picture. All right? I'll show you again. Look at this picture of Katt Williams. Look at the colors he's wearing. And look at this picture. What's the same? What's similar? What's similar? What do you guys see? Oh shit, am I not showing y'all anything? Hold up. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Y'all ain't even tell me nothing. All right. I'm here. So one of the things that was, so this is what I was supposed to be showing y'all. My bad. The Pimp Chronicles movie. All right. So this is my introduction to Katt Williams. It's a hilarious movie. All right. But what's the difference between this picture? What do you see similar, I should ask, between this picture? Okay. And this picture. What's similar that you see? I'm gonna show you again. This is so you can understand symbolism and understand when you see these things on TV, social media, YouTube, and you can recognize the energy that the universe is trying to show you, so you can see beneath the surface of what your two eyes see, and really see now with third eye Heru vision, seeing above, right, what is presented to you. What's the similarity? Somebody tell me in the comments. What's the similarity? Let me see if y'all tapped in. I'm gonna keep showing it to y'all till y'all get it. Said them stars. Nope, not the stars. Nope, not the stars. Ultra Instinct. Look at it again. What's the similarity between this Pimp Chronicles, not the Kali Ma, the Pimp Chronicles pictures? And if y'all don't get it, I'll give it to y'all in a couple of seconds. I don't want to be here all morning. What's the similarity between this picture and that picture? Nope, not the light, Titan Moore. Nope, not the light. Good answers, but not the light. See if one more for Ghost Watcher or something. This picture and this picture. What's the similarity? Because if y'all just got me talking all day, this makes no sense. It's not going to help you at all. So what's the similarity between the two pictures? Let's see if somebody got it. Yes, there you go. Best. Yes, I knew somebody was going to get it. Black. Black in particular, right? They're wearing black. Okay. In this video, he's exposing the secret society parties. He's exposing these Hollyweird parties, right? The same thing he did today, with just exposing the Hollyweird lifestyles in that Shannon Sharp videos. But yes, they are both them, he has on black, right? Saturn, okay? Black and white are the colors of Saturn in particular. Black and white are the colors of Saturn, all right? So he has a silver, right? Even the chain that he has on, all right? It has black in it, and the silver is like white, black and white, all right? Got black and white. Look at the hat, black and white. And he's telling the truth again, all right? So it's not a coincidence. It's only confirmation, okay, that he is doing the work of Saturn, all right? It's only confirmation. So when we talk about Kali Ma now, Kali Ma also corresponds to Saturn, okay? And Kali Ma's energy, right, is the divine feminine. Now, even though the divine feminine, right, is personified gender-wise as woman, the divine feminine is also part of the whole, part of the universe, part of the all. But it is one half of the whole, is one half of the universe. You cannot have birth, right? It takes male and female to have birth. Even if you break it down and say, okay, parthenogenesis, which is something animals could do where they reproduce within their own. And you say, okay, millions of years ago, it was women giving birth to women, or women giving birth to men straight from the womb with no male assistance. There still has to be a sperm meeting the egg. There still has to be that masculine aspect of energy, right? And the feminine aspect of the energy, boom, to form and create the melanated zygote that is you, that eventually becomes you and I's big ass. You and I's grown ass. You need masculine and feminine energy in the universe. There's no way around it. If you kill all the men in the world and you just left women, you're gonna have motherfucking Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, Housewives of Atlanta. You're gonna have Sexy Reds and Sukianas, all that taking over. You're gonna have the same shit, just all female. All right, it ain't gonna work. All right, so right now the energy is going into divine feminine energy, but it's about balance. So Kali Ma, in her essence of destroyer in this particular photo as a deity, represents the energy of transformation and change, but it's also the same energy of Saturn, which is discipline and structure. And what discipline and structure gets you, living according to universal law and universal cycles, is you being protected, you having spiritual protection, you having spiritual power, you having spiritual influence. If you are a person who studies the Kabbalah, this would be represented in the sphere of Bina, all right, which represents spiritual power as well. Okay, this spiritual power is sourced from the darkness within you, not from the outside, not from buying a whole bunch of motherfucking crystals, right? Not from wearing holy robes, all right? This has to be sourced from within, okay? Not from going to church every fucking Sunday either, and hearing some good things, getting hype off the word, and then going back during the week doing the same old bullshit and dealing with the same traumas and the same addictions and the same anxiety, the same shit over and over again, right? Escapism, etc. It comes from within. And if you look, Kali Ma is stepping on a snake, which represents the rising of energy, right? In fact, you have in your brain something called the R complex. And the R complex is your serpentine brain. And that serpentine brain is a representation of the coldness in you, right? Because a serpent is cold, right? It represents the lowest part of your evolution, okay? It just deals with sensations, right? Striking, right? You ever been in a situation where you met somebody new and, you know, every time you said something, they were just popping off, or they were extra assertive or extra defensive for no reason, you know, and just, you know, super defensive, right? They're stuck still in that reptilian brain, that cold aspect. And usually those people are very cold hearted, right? They don't have a lot of empathy. They don't have a lot of love. All right. But if you stimulate that inner cobra which is what Kali Ma is represented, her stepping on this particular representation of herself. Okay. If you look at her, you'll see that there's a moon on the goddess's head, on that is on the floor. There's also a moon, right, on where is it? There's a moon on the goddess's head on the floor, and well, damn, I guess not this picture, but I've seen another picture where there's a moon on her head and there's a moon on Kali Ma's head on the top, right? But if you look, you'll also see she has, and these are all ways of you grow. She has this little rattle on her left hand, right, which stimulates music, which stimulates sound. She has this little ring, which represents Saturn, right, or the energy of discipline and structure, which is what the universe itself runs on. Okay, universe is orderly. It's 6 a.m. It's still dark, but I'm looking out my window. I see the sun is rising up slowly but surely. Okay, that's gonna happen every single day as long as you are here on this planet in this avatar body. All right, this is the knives, right? Of course, spiritual protection, right? The cutting the heads off is you cutting off that ego, right? You cutting off your animalistic human mindset and you coming to be one with God, no matter what that takes, no matter what you have to sacrifice in order to get there. So you could gain the blessings of this spiritual power, peace, power, prosperity, love, and joy, right? But it does take you cutting off heads. It does take you cutting off who you were. It does take you cutting off people, persons, and things if need be, right? Or at least separating yourself, right? You see, she has fire, which of course corresponds to the dragon aspect. The trident corresponds to the wave function, quantum physics, turning waves into particles. So whenever you see a trident, you see it in like Aquaman movies, right? Where him holding the trident. If you looked at the recent What If on Disney Plus, you see Odin holding a trident, right? It represents the wave function where you have waves of energy. You waves of happiness, waves of joy, waves of sadness, right? Mastering the wave. You see the arrow, right, on the right hand with the bow representing being pointed and accurate. The head representing, again, you being spiritually protected and also, taking the head or the ego off of you and her being powered. This is also a visualization of understanding, right? Of standing under something and being powered by lunar forces, which represent the internal world. So you see the color black corresponds to that Kali Ma energy and Saturn and the internal world. Let's keep going. Even if you look at the hands, right, you could say it's like a ring, right, around Kali Ma. See that? You could say it's like a ring. And you see on the top of her crown representing enlightenment, right? Representing inner light, right? Representing inner vision, right? Represent her being crowned or the crown chakra being open. And this crown chakra allowing her to be protected by the most powerful force in the world, which is the universe's dark energy and dark matter. Let's continue going. So Saturn is also corresponds to Set. Okay. Excuse me. Set is the Egyptian deity that corresponds to Set corresponds to the man in his animal state. Okay, man in his savage state. Okay, that's why you see that. That's where this prototype of Set is where you get Saturn, and you see the devil have we been depicted as is with a tail and a pitchfork. Again, where did we just see the pitch? We just saw a trident, right? But they call it a pitchfork, but it's really a trident. 1, 2, 3. You see it in Kali Ma's hand as well. Because the devil or the demi urge is basically an urge, right? You being mad, you being upset, you feeling grimy, right? You want to get active, right? It is an urge within you. Now, there's a time and place for Set, right? In fact, the Cometians or the quote unquote Egyptians, the Cometian warriors, they had a troop called the Medjay warriors. And the Medjay warriors, what they would do is they would make offerings and sacrifices to Set, right? And you see with Katt Williams, what he was doing in this video, he damn sure was on his Set business, okay? He came for war. He came for war. He came to cause problems, and he came to expose the truth, okay? And a lot of people are saying is he's hating, but again, he's been doing this since the Pimp Chronicles, okay? Go watch the Pimp Chronicles. He's been doing this since the Pimp Chronicles, exposing the Hollywood elite. There's nothing new, all right? It's just maybe new to some of you who are younger. So Saturn is where they get Set corresponds to Saturn, discipline, structure, and restrictions. People don't like discipline, structure, and restrictions, right? People want to do what they want to do. People want to live how they want to live. People want to eat how they want to eat, right? This is the world we live in. People don't want restrictions. They want ultimate freedom, right? But freedom comes at a price. For instance, like I always say, the universe has restrictions, okay? You can't transmute everything. I don't care how holy you are, all right? You think you could transmute every single thing? Diet, bad company, right? Too much toxic music, too much toxic environments. And even myself, I was on that at one point, right? Thinking I could just transmute everything. And over time, you grow, you learn that no, you have to make sacrifices so you could have true freedom. And the true freedom is being in accordance with nature, in accordance with the circle, Saturn of life. Okay? I don't care how holy you are. If I pull out a motherfucking Glock 19 and point at your motherfucking temple, 9 times out of 10, your watermelon, or as what's homeboy says, your TV's gonna be turned off, right? I don't care how spiritual, how miraculous you are, right? That's just a universal law that your body is built a certain way. You might have a dog, right? Here in New York, you might have a dog. You could put your dog outside in 20, 30 degree weather, and that dog's going to be all right, especially if you have something like an Alaskan Husky, right? But your ass can't be out there butt naked like that dog can in the weather. Why? Because there's universal law and order. That's what Saturn set, and even now they corrupted it with Satan and told you it's just everything evil and everything bad and all bad intentions. No, that's not what Set or Saturn represents. It's just that people don't want structure. People don't follow universal laws. People want to do what they want to do. And this is why the world is the way it is, because everybody's doing what they want to do. Kids are listening to Sexy Red at 2, 3 years old, right? Not just Ski, the Pound Towns, and you got kids that are learning watching all type of egregious things and horror movies. And I mean, kids nowadays, man, it's crazy how much. And I was looking at a video about one of my favorite MCs, and he was showing a holiday video. And during this holiday video, all the kids was on tablets. There was like 3 little kids. There was an adults, right? All 3 of the kids was on tablets. No parents was paying attention to the kids. None of the adults were talking to the children. None of the adults were walking with the children hand in hand. None of the adults were engaging with these children at all. And these videos were like 2-3 minute clips, right? Actually, no, I'm bugging. They weren't 2, 3. They was like 1 minute clip each. But these clips, you could see the kids. They weren't engaged with any of the adults. So if the adults probably wasn't watching what the kids was watching. So who knows what the kids, through the cartoons, through the media, which we just discussed as an illusion, which Hollywood, which we just discussed is a magic spell, and spells they put on people through the media, all forms of media, an illusion, which we just discussed with Katt Williams exposing in the Pimp Chronicles, in this particular interview, the illusion of media and Hollywood stars, right? He talked about how Steve Harvey wasn't even homeless. I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I watched the Club Shay Shay video. I always thought Steve Harvey was homeless. He's like, nah, he's just selling us a story. He talked about how Kevin Hart was selling us a story that he was on the West Coast doing comedy when he never was on the West Coast. So these people have been selling us lies and dreams, something like your favorite influencers are doing too. Uh-oh. Shots fired. Something like your favorite influencer do. If your favorite influencers are not telling you, your favorite YouTubers are not telling you that they go through different struggles in life, that they're real human beings like you and me, that they pee and sit down just like everybody else. They tell you these magnificent people from the 23rd dynasty of Kemet and, you know, and act like they don't poop. Act like their stomachs don't hurt. That they don't stub their toes sometime. That they don't get heartbroken. Be careful. Be careful with some of these people online. All right? Some people are selling you dreams and they only tell you the success stories. They never tell you the downs, though. But there are ups and downs on this path. And the thing is to get back in line. Get back in line. Get back on your 8. Get back on your build and destroy. And use the tools that you learn from these influencers, that you learn from these people on social media, me or others, okay? It's not about following anybody. It's about learning and then activating, all right? Taking the ideas and then putting it out into the world so that we can have significant transformations, significant institutions and governments and established systems that need to adapt and evolve. This is what 2024 is about. Are you going to shine your light, Kelly Ma? What are you going to destroy in your life, Kelly Ma? Or you're just going to be a Professor Ogilvy and go along, get along, gang. And okay, well, I'm spiritual, but really money is my God. You know, I saw Nipsey Hussle die, and I didn't see a Brinks truck follow him. When I saw Nipsey Hussle die, I didn't see, you know, anybody talk about how much money he made. When I saw Tupac die, I didn't see anybody talk about how much money he made. But Saint Nip still has an impact to this day on youth and people. Tupac still has an influence on youth and people in positive ways. I always say, I'm not saying don't get money. I'm not saying don't get rich. I'm not saying don't get wealthy. In fact, I encourage it. I love money and money loves me. The love of money is not the root of all evil, right? The lust for money is the root of all evil, where you will sell your soul, where you will go against your principles, your core principles. And you, especially men, right? And women too, but especially men, you got balls, testes, testicles, test. You're supposed to get tested in this life, and you're supposed to learn to rise above your test. And what's happening now, we always talk about the modern woman, but what's happening to the modern man is they don't want to be tested. They don't want to grow. So you see them huddle up in these manospheres, and I'm not saying men don't have legitimate, you know, gripes, right? And we don't have legitimate things to be upset about, right? But at the same time, are we just going to sit and circle jerk each other, right, in these fucking chat rooms and talk about how bad women are? Or are you going to improve your social standings? Are you going to read books like How to Win Friends and Influence People? Are you going to step out and take a risk and approach a woman that you'll find attractive? And even if she rejects you, say, okay, I learned from that. What did I learn from that? And how can I approach the next one in a better way, right? Are you going to change the way you dress and stop just looking dusty, right? Are you going to learn a skill other than getting money? Are you going to learn a skill other than getting money? Are you going to learn something other than just getting money? Are you enjoyable to be around? Do you have character? I got people in my family with a lot of money and they're boring as hell. Dry as hell. Got plenty money. Money I wish I had. But no personality. Can't keep a woman at all. But you got these fresh and fit dudes, right? And I'm not hating on anybody, I'm just keeping it real. Who you could tell was not dudes that was getting it high school above or whatever, that are telling men how to live and how to exist. Sitting and other men are following circular jerking. Yeah, men are this. Yeah, the modern woman is this. Yeah. But what are you doing to, and it's not just following your purpose. It's not just following your purpose. You got to do more than just follow your purpose. You have to develop yourself holistically, 360 degrees, all 12 zodiacs, right? But your main goal is to live according to your purpose, yes. But your purpose is to be one with God, to be a divine being, to be a God body, to be one with the all. And if you are one with the all, women aren't a problem for you. If you're a woman and you are one with the all, men aren't a problem with you. There's women that have no problem with men, no issues. Yeah, they may have gotten their heart broke. We all have gotten our heart broke. You can't get to a certain age without getting your heart broke. It's part of the game. It comes with the tuition of life, right? And you may have gotten it broke a couple of times. Why? Because a lesson unlearned is going to repeat itself. This is Saturn in effect. This is Saturn in effect. A lesson unlearned will continue to repeat itself if you don't pay attention to the lessons of Saturn, and that is a devil. That is your demon. That is your devil. You not learning the lessons of your hardship. You not tapping into the cycles of why you keep going round and round and round and round, and you haven't reached your fortune yet because you're not aligned. You are not woke folk for real, which is what this chain says. You just got a lot of information. You just read a lot of books. You just watched a lot of YouTube. Oh, you could say it real well. Oh, your friends are so impressed. Oh, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your baby mama, your baby daddy. Ooh, 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 ooh. Talk that talk, nigga. Oh, you're so impressive. You're so impressive. Right? I've been there. I've been there. Saying all the right things, knowing all the right things to say. Right? Be able to articulate it really well. Right? Take a couple lines from books here and there, repeat them, memorize them, repeat them at the right times. But I'm insecure. Right? Fighting insecurity. I got mama issues. I got abandonment issues from my dad. I'm dwelling in poverty. These are all things you have to work on and transmute. Even poverty. That shit ain't cool to be in the struggle. Black man, black woman. Even white man, white woman. Or whatever color or shade you are in the hue, color, hue, man, human stratosphere. Living in this avatar body. Poverty is not cool. No one wants to be in poverty. You don't want to be poor. You don't want to be in the struggle. There's some people who would struggle all their life. Never took time to learn. Now, your parents and your grandparents didn't have the internet. You, my friends, do. It's a beautiful time. It's a blessed time. Twat to the ancestors for the internet. Aren't we grateful? Aren't we grateful we have the internet and the ability to share? Right? When's the last time you expressed gratitude just for the internet? But are you using it to learn how to make money, to develop a skill, to learn something new? Right? I ain't right now. Shit, last night, you know what I was doing? Fucking with Mid-Journey AI. trying to learn how to enter prompts and fuck with my own pictures and, you know, put other things in how to create. Because I don't want to be left behind just because I'm becoming a man of a certain age. I don't want to be left behind, right? I want to be able to do that as a skill. I want to be able to make money from doing that. What's your wheel of fortune, right? Let's continue. I'm trying to get out of here by 7. All right. So Saturn, Set, and Satan. Okay. This is where this comes from. And the restrictions that you don't follow, according to universal law, mentalism, vibration, polarity, cause and effect, correspondence, gender and rhythm. Also by tapping into your, which we discussed the last video, tapping into your 7 chakras, right? Through breath work, right? Through diet, through the food that you take in for thought, the information you take in, right? What you do during the day, what you're thinking during your daydreams, right? The emotions that you convey. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I got somebody that's in my vicinity fucking with me on purpose. I know they fucking with me on purpose, right? And I know the purpose. They don't think I know, but I know the purpose of why they fucking with me. And it's something that I gotta be like, all right, I ain't gonna lash out. Be patient. Because I got a plan. But oh, I want to lash out, nigga. Oh, I want to lash out. I want to Kalima that ass. I want to Kalima that ass so bad. Oh my God. I want to Kalima that ass, y'all. But I smile, I'm like, okay. So I Kalima that ass is going to put me in a position that I don't want to be put in. For now. But there's going to be a time, nigga, that when I'm in a different position, things are going to go different. Because at the end of the day, I'm still a motherfucking shaman. I'm still a motherfucking sorcerer. And I don't need tools to do sorcery. All I need is thoughts. And I don't even have to do anything to hurt you. Because again, I am Kalima. You are Kalima. You are a destroyer, right? You are spiritually protected if you go according to universal law. Look at what Katt Williams went through. After this Pimp Chronicles, there was Katt Williams going to jail, Katt Williams getting embarrassed, Katt Williams going through all this shit. Now, I'm not saying Katt Williams is perfect or he's my idol or he's my new Jesus. I'm just using him as, and using the times, right, of us, this being an 8-year, using the colors that I've showed you, right, the black and white to show you he's tapped into that Saturn energy to show you what it is. You'll be spiritually protected if you live according to universal law, if you tap into yourself. It's a product of the game. If you have good character, if you have compassion for people, if you're not a person who's always shitting on people, because your brain, scientifically speaking, doesn't recognize, the difference between you and someone else. Your brain only hears you speaking. So when you're talking about someone else, you're talking about yourself. When you're shitting on someone else, you're shitting on yourself. This doesn't mean that if somebody comes to attack you, don't defend yourself. Or if someone's trying to play you, right, you don't, lash out appropriately and tap into that Kalima energy. But spiritually, there's a time and place for that. And God, the divine within you, the all, the universe, the Allah within you, the all within you, will give you that wisdom if you are tapped in and doing the work on a day-to-day basis. So let's look at, I want to get into this little bit of Saturn the Black Cube. We'll get back into this, play another video real quick that is on IG. And we'll get into Saturno and what that means. I thought, okay, I was hoping it didn't delete. All right. Still here. Hallelujah. All right. Let me turn my mic off. I'll be right back. So this is from Symbolic Studies, Black,
the mysteries, and the hidden. It relates to the subconscious, the shadow, and the psyche. It speaks to the unexplored parts of who we are and where we come from. Black is an expression of our primordial past and the cosmic womb. It's the ocean floor void of light. It's the color of initiation and the occult. In the West, it's the color of death and transformation, often worn by those in mourning. Black is absolute. It's considered the absence of color or all colors combined. It aligns with everything and nothing at all. It's the black dot at the center of all that exists. It relates to Kali, the Black One, goddess of creation, preservation, and destruction. Often, it was the preferred color of animal sacrificed to the gods of the underworld. It's the color of the Kaaba in Mecca and other cubes seen throughout the world. There's a powerful quality to black and is ritually worn by both legal and religious authorities. When a color is trending, it's said to be the new black. The word new is interesting. It reminds me of the French word nuit, which means night, and shares the same spelling as the Egyptian sky goddess Nuit, whose body is filled with the stars. Black is associated with the stereotypical witch and, of course, black magic. It's the color of obsidian and the scrying mirrors made from it. Kubrick's monolith was black, as is the Devil's Pedestal. It's the color of the screen you're watching this on. Black is said to be the color of time itself, fitting given Saturn's correspondence with black and its rulership of Capricorn. Black speaks to the Saturnian principles of limitation and restriction, to which we should be grateful. Black are the fertile depths where the divine feminine makes her greatest creations. It relates to chaos and the formless root of all matter. It's the dark night of the soul, which brings new beginnings. I'm intrigued with the idea that black is the color of fertility, regeneration, resurrection, and self-discovery. To me, it makes sense that the mysterious and the unseen are all aspects of the original Mother Goddess. It's in her dark womb where all wisdom and power, including your own, originates. Her domain is in the stars and the universe within. In truth, black is a blessing and the color of her embrace. Black. It's the color of the night sky, the mysteries, and the hidden. It relates to the subconscious, the shadow, and the psyche. It speaks to the unexplored parts of who we are and where we come from. Black is an expression of our primordial past and the cosmic womb. It's the ocean floor void of light. It's the color of initiation.
All right, so that was Symbolic Studies breaking down the color. Oh, hold on, they are muted. So that was Symbolic Studies breaking down the color black, what the color black symbolizes, and how it ties into Saturn, how it ties to the primordial womb, right, and so forth and so on. So, give me 1 second, let me do this, and we'll get back to it. So when we talk about, let's do this too. Let me show y'all this, and then we will go close this up. So Saturno, all right, Saturno. So this is something I had well, 47 weeks old. So this is something I had put on my Instagram a while ago. Saturno, okay? Again, we're still talking about Katt Williams, black and white, okay? The chain, we've been new there. There's a priesthood of Saturn, and they are very powerful, all right? And believe it is their job to structure the world as they see fit, okay? These are the powers that were, all right? The people that want to control the world, so to speak. And they are from one religion operating through many religions. They are also the Merovingians in the movie The Matrix Reloaded. All right. Remember the Merovingians, the vampires, okay? In 5% Nation, they call them the bloodsuckers of the poor. All right. The powers that were. The priesthoods, okay? The Vatican, etc., etc. There's not a president in America that doesn't go to the Vatican, that doesn't go see doesn't go see the not only the Pope, but they always come to New York to see the Archbishop or the Cardinals here. All right. So there's not a president or a presidential candidate. Kamala Harris came, Biden came, Trump went, Obama went. They all come to see the same person because they have to. All right. It's part of the game. So that's their job. So that is that Saturn energy that we've been talking about, this 8 energy. All right. So it could be used against you as well. Okay. If you don't know what you're doing. This hat the high Catholic clergy wear is called the Saturno. Saturnian energy is used by the occultic so-called elite to lock you into the illusionary matrix construct of time and space. Saturn is where you get Satan from. All right. The black cube of Saturn can be found worldwide. It is also found in the Coptic cross, which is a symbol of Christianity today. All right. The body of a loved one who passed may be sat in an urn. Okay. Sat in an urn. Saturn is about the power of darkness. I just showed you the video. Karma, which you see Katt Williams gave plenty out today or yesterday, right? Structure, restrictions, and cycles. All right. Man was created on the 6th day in the Bible. Saturn is the 6th day of the work week and the 6th planet of the sun. Moral of the story, don't let anyone in family or society put you in a box. Be free to be uniquely you. All right. And you see these black cubes of Saturn all over, right? The Muslim Kaaba, and all these, there's a black box in Manhattan, one of these cubes in Manhattan, and you see these cubes in different countries, and they all just represent one thing, keeping you trapped here in humanity, keeping you trapped in the cycle of reincarnation, right? So Saturn has its good and its bad, like everything else. It has its yin and its yang. It all depends how it's used. And these magicians are using this symbolism. These high-level priesthood magicians are using this symbolism to keep you trapped in a savage human mindset so that you never elevate into your God self, that you never do the work to elevate into your highest magical being, that you never unite with the universe and unite with all, unite with Allah, unite with God, whatever you want to call it, right? That's the goal, because they know that it takes inner work and they keep you focused on things outside of yourself so that you never get to that point, and that you never have something that you're willing to die for, that you never have morals and principles that go past the dollar bill and getting the dollar bill. Again, not saying you don't need it, right? But again, if you look at the cross, right, you will see the cross falls into a cube as well, right? This is the science of religion. Katt Williams, remember, was a Jehovah's Witness, right? We just talked about that in the beginning of this, and how religions are cults, right? Even the conscious community is a cult, right? And the main theme of the conscious community is nation building, right? Building this nation one day, right? Overthrowing the evil pilgrim and building a new nation, right? That's what it's all about, right? But you fly on a plane, it's pilgrims that are Europeans, Western people that are flying your plane, that are driving your buses, that are selling you your cars, that sometimes you go to the doctor and are giving you medicines, right? Etc. That are the proprietors of your YouTube, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, your Snapchats, etc., right? These are services that are not provided by melanated people, highly melanated people at this point in time, Eventually it will get to that point, right? But if people do not develop or not healing from their traumas or not how don't have rituals within themselves and teaching their children and their family how to be their divine selves, right? How to have discipline, how to have structure, how to do full moon, new moon rituals, how to meditate, how to use crystals and herbs for root work, work with these deity energies, work with becoming one and how that really looks. Then it doesn't matter how many dollars of reparations you get. It's the same thing as when niggas was getting money during the pandemic. It's just going to go right back to the people that they claim to hate, just to mask your trauma. And then you go to religion after it's all said and done, so you could get your Sunday fix of the choir, because that's really the main reason why niggas go. Let's keep it real. They go for the choir, and they go there to hear somebody telling you that you're going to go to heaven if you believe in Jesus, and if you believe in the power of the Lord, and if you believe in the Holy Spirit, and if you follow the ways of the Bible, because the Bible is the only truth. And then you hear the organs stimulating your organs, and they get you all hype, and you stand up. And within 2 to 3 hours, by Monday afternoon, you're back in your savage, nigger, hating, mischievous, figuring out how you're going to get over, how you're going to use this person, how you're going to manipulate this, stressing over the bills, depressed, anxiety, ADHD mindset, gotta smoke a spliff, gotta get a drink, right? I'm not saying I'm against none of those things. Well, as far as the drinks and the spliffs, right? And shit, people even do harder drugs than that to cope, right? But how about learning going within to cope? How about that? How about learning how to use music to cope? How about learning how to use teas to cope? This is what our ancestors did, ladies and gentlemen. This is what led to greatness. This is what led to civil societies. This is what led to the ancient Wakandans, not fiction, where they got the fiction from, which are this ancient Cometian, ancient Sumerian, Atlantean societies, if you believe in Atlantis, right? Which led to these civil Native American, quote unquote, Indian societies, right? See Killers of the Flower Moon, and how they had to deal with them Pilgrim savages, and how they try to eliminate them, and how they tricked them, right? That's somebody putting you in a box as well. And they came under the guise of the cross as well. Your oppressors always got other people trying to oppress you, always have a culture to give you if you don't give one to yourself. If you don't structure yourself and your family, trust me, the people that want to oppress you, that want to use you like a battery in the matrix, they got a culture for you. They got a culture to give you. And they will impose it if you don't impose one on yourself and your family. So we discussed the Saturno, we discussed the black cube. The divine feminine is the black devil to a wicked person. So the divine feminine has nothing to do with physical gender, okay? People saying it's the rise of divine feminine, but you hate men. But you want to see 70%, well, or whatever, 50%, or you want to see men die all over the world, right? You think when more men are gone, that the world's going to get better. And that ain't the case. I've seen Love and Hip Hop. I've seen Basketball Wives. I've seen the Housewives of Atlanta. Stop the cap. All right? Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
You may not even like women. There's women who don't even like women, who don't even want to be around women. I know tons of women like that. They don't even fuck with women like that. They fuck with men because they say men are easy to deal with and women are too catty. So it has nothing to do with just being a physical woman. Divine feminine is that nurturing aspect, that womb aspect, that inner self that you are cultivating through doing your shadow work, facing your trauma, through going within yourself. And the best way to do it, ladies and gentlemen, is through meditation. It's the easiest. It's breath. Say this again. Let me say it 3 times like Dr. Umar, because since he's trending, let me say it 3 times like Dr. Umar, okay? Say it 3 times like Dr. Umar. Etymology of the word spirit means breath. The etymology of the word spirit means to breathe. The etymology of the word spirit means breath, to breathe. So your breath is what controls your spirituality and the level of spirituality that you are on. We are all breathing. We are all breathing. If you wake up, you're sleeping, you're breathing. But your level of breath, your breathing slows down when you're sleeping. Your breathing slows down when you're meditating. And you have states during the day called daydreams where your breathing slows down as well. The key is, what are you seeding during those moments? What information are you producing? Are you educing from yourself? And this is the spiritual work. This is where the habits come in, the day-to-day habits come in. It's not going to come in 1 day. It's not going to come in 2 days. It's not going to come in 3 days. Ain't no quick fix, right? You can get some money, okay? You can manifest some money. You know what I'm saying? Go on Pinterest, do a money spell, try a couple. On this path, you got to be a scientist, all right? So you got to try different things. That's how we all started. Anybody who's teaching you anything on YouTube has done their own spell work and tried something. And eventually the best spells are ones that spirit gives you, right? Ones that your ancestors give you, one that you download, right? From the divine feminine within you. And this doesn't have anything to do with gender. This is just the birthing and nurturing process within yourself, all right? So Satan, get behind me, is what this picture represents. This is in the Bible, all right? And the Heru, the set aspect, is the shadow aspect that you got to deal with. But that shadow aspect is eventually what powers you. Why? Because those are the lessons that you have learned from your past. And the lessons that you have learned from your past and from your trials and tribulations are now giving you light, which is information and visions into the future, which is the now. This is why your past and learning from your past and overcoming and working on overcoming whatever is limiting you in the best way possible, right? By having daily rituals again and following the cycles of nature, the Netaru, the natural, right? The Egyptian pantheon is called the Netaru, right? And whether you were in any pantheon from the Loa, right, to Ifa, you're dealing with nature. You're dealing with natural cycles. Even hoodoo, you're dealing with nature, root work, natural cycles. Okay? The stars, the real stars. This is why the fake ones are coming down. So you can follow the real stars. Okay? Because we still follow the stars, just not the ones we're supposed to. And most of humanity, that's why everybody's hype on what Katt Williams saying, but they're not really tapping into the gems that he's really giving. And they definitely didn't see the symbolism in none of this, and him wearing even his chain with the 8 points on it, with him having something, words called woke folk, where it's 8 letters. The masses didn't peep that. They just want to hear the tea, the gossip. See somebody tear somebody down so that it inflates your ego and makes you feel like you're better than someone else. But really, you're not. We all got struggles. We all got some shit we need to work on mentally. Nobody's perfect. Perfectly made, yes. But life is a journey. It's a hero's journey. And there's no superhero that doesn't have supervillains. When have you seen that? The superhero just say, okay, I'm retired. Batman can't retire. Gotham always has new villains. As long as there's Batman, there's going to be the Riddler and Joker. Always. Always. But you got to know, as a superhero, right? that you're able to use your life, or you're able to go within and tap into that animal within, tame him or her, and now use that animal to your benefit. That's why the Netaru and the Egyptians had these animal-headed gods with human bodies. Y'all don't hear me though. Let's keep going. Earthquakes, okay? 1/1/2024, that's this year, all right? Add it up, it comes out to 10. 10 equals 1. All right, so this is the first day of the year. There were 824 motherfucking earthquakes. 824 earthquakes. That's record, okay? Now I told y'all before that there was a tsunami, right? Let's look at, there was not a solar tsunami at that. So let's look at what's been happening, right? Let me show you this. So we had a coronal mass ejection, all right, that popped off today, all right? A CME, solar flare, grazed Earth's magnetic field, okay? I'm not going to go into all this, right? But it says it was the strongest solar flare of solar cycle 25, which is what we're in. X5 class explosion, all right, on New Year's Eve, all right? And this is what the planet is under right now. Have you gone within yourself to take advantage of this ultraviolet light that is hitting the planet from nature? Do you care? Right? Maybe you don't care. But life will show you this year that you're going to have to care if you claim to be a god body, if you claim to be a magician, a shaman, a spiritual being, a witch, a warlock. Life is going to have something for your ass. And I don't care how much money you have or don't have. Life is going to have something for your ass. Because these next 3 months up into the spring equinox, March 21st, are going to be the time for you to get your shit together. Remember, when we had the pandemic, remember it hit like the springtime? It hit like around May. And before that, there were signs and symbols, Kobe dying, right? This thing was spreading, right? This particular sickness was spreading from Asia slowly but surely, right? It wasn't really impacting here yet, but there were signs and symbols that it was coming. There were signs and symbols that there were a shift coming. It was 2020, right? 4 number. Now we're in an 8 number. We're doubling up. Can I say I know exactly what's going to happen? No. But I know the universe is preparing us, because look at what happened today, the 4th. Look at what happened today. Boom. Another strong solar flare. Demonstrating its continuing potency, Sunspot AR3536 produced another strong flare today. This is this morning, folks. 1:55 Universal Time. That's 1:55 a.m., I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong. This is, you see it? You see it sparking? You see it sparking? You see the fire for your wood, your inner wood? Are you nurturing this, though? Doesn't matter what I'm telling you. It matters if you're nurturing it. So that's why you have all these earthquakes, right? Because we're having unprecedented times. It said it. They've never. I just showed you. They've never, the solar flare that we've had on New Year's Eve. We've never had. Actually, I'm sorry. We had it 2017, but since then we haven't had anything since then. "56 quakes between magnitude 4 and 5, 119 quakes between magnitude 3 or 4. There was quakes here in New York City, in Queens. They had an earthquake today. Queens, they had one in Roosevelt Island this morning. My daughter, Mag 4.2. They had one in California on New Year's Eve. 7.5 in Japan, 4.2 in Japan. So there's a new Earth, there's a new you, right? As cliche as that is, New Year, New Earth, New You, right? I know it's not the New Earth in the spring, New Year's Eve in the spring, but the Asians going to celebrate New Year's Eve. Chinatown's going to be bussing in the next 3 weeks. They're going to celebrate their New Year's, Chinese New Year's, right? The Ethiopians have their New Year on September 11th. People celebrate New Year at different times, different ways, right? The Star Sirius, I talked about that. Do your research, right? Not get into semantics on what you conscious motherfuckers. And I've been there, so I understand. I'm trying to save y'all time. I'm not gonna do this because it's the people. No, well then create your own motherfucking holidays then. Y'all, we so anti what we not gonna celebrate and what we not gonna partake in, but then you sitting home sad. You sitting home lonely. You sitting home isolated from your family. You sit home isolated from your friends. Is that positive? Is that bringing you joy? Is that making you feel more connected and more caring? Part of the circle of life? Or is it holding you back? Something to think about. What to look out in 2024? This is the highlight portion, y'all. Economic shifts. Watch for fluctuation in global financial markets. I talked about crypto. I've been talking about crypto. It's up to you to do the research. The year will bring both challenges and opportunities in economic sectors, prompting the need for adaptability and strategic planning. Structural changes. Expect potential shifts in governance, policies, and societal structures. All right, here in America, we're in an election year, okay? So things about to change, all right? A lot of us are waking up. You don't think things are going to change? AI is coming, people's jobs. People are losing their jobs. People are getting laid off, right? Things are getting more and more expensive. Inflation has not cooled off. And we know the prices never go back to what they were. They always just continue to go up in everything. That's the way life works, right? Inflation always continues upward. That's how they control you, right? You can never make enough money to out-control the pilgrim because they own the treasury. They own the printing of money. So you can never, what do they call it? You can never, what do they call it? You can never buy the block, for lack of a better term, to have economic freedom. How you gonna have economic freedom when the people that put your ancestors in chains own the treasury? Again, I'm not saying don't get money, because with no money, I can't even stream this on live stream right now. It's cost. So if you want to hit my Cash App, don't hesitate. If what I'm saying is giving you value. And I know I'm channeling right now. So I know I'm giving y'all some value while still talking about this Katt Williams thing. And that goes into personal growth, right? Individuals will feel compelled to reassess their goals, priorities, and values. Self-discipline and hard work may pave the way for personal and professional success, okay? So again, this all goes back to, being within the cycles of nature, right? Knowing this is a Saturn year, seeing Katt Williams literally with a Saturn pendant on, representing the Wheel of Fortune, seeing him with a ring on, right? That has 8 letters and has 8 spokes, and he's wearing all black and has rings on his motherfucking hat. Okay, you can screenshot this. You know what's going on, all right? You got the heads up. The universe is showing you it's time for you to change and transform something. Whether you have money, whether you don't. Whether you have depression, whether you don't. Whether you have anxiety, whether you got to transform something, my nigga. Whether it's you being closer to your family members. Whether it's you forgiving someone. Whether it's you being a little more kind. Whether it's you being and showing up more like God rather than an asshole. So laugh every damn day, all right? Every day, find a way to laugh. Find something to laugh at. I don't go to bed without laughter. Laughter is the fountain of youth. Fountain of youth ain't out there. It's known elixirs, right? It's not just diet or being vegan. Laughter is the fountain of youth. I've done this in a video before. Look at any comedian and look up their age. I guarantee you they look 10 to 15 years younger than they really are. Guarantee. That's a guarantee. That's something I could stand on, like Pepsi, like Denzel said, like Blue Magic, right? It's a brand you could trust. It's a brand you could trust. Laughter. I watch Sanford and Son. I watch All in the Family. I watch Martin. I watch motherfucking Jamie Foxx, right? Sometimes I'll clutch a clip on YouTube. I was watching Red Fox, have Red Fox playing in the background while I was composing this. All right. This is how you put yourself in your own spell. This is how you conjure energy. This is how you conjure that inner fire, that inner flame. This is how you move your 8. The circle that is outside of you and the circle that is inside of you. And you become one. As above, so below. The star outside, right? And the star dust inside. This is the real conjure. And then you're a walking motherfucking altar. You're a walking candle. You're a walking angel. You're a walking deity. You're a walking Netzeru, a walking Loa. But you got to do what it takes. And you got to make sacrifices. Kalima. Got to make sacrifices. Got to cut off some of these heads. And some of these heads, again, are tied to your childhood trauma. Also, again, you see Katt Williams, right? We talked about the Wheel of Saturn. We talked about him wearing all black, right? But also, there's someone else that has been coming out lately that we'll see the color black in as well. Let's look at Damon Wilson, a.k.a. Lamont Safford, all right? Let's look at Damon Wilson, a.k.a. Lamont Safford, and see what he's talking about. And it's not too...
The reason why I laid it up
what
in
Katt
that
Williams
fashion is because it seems very cliquish Hollywood from the outside looking in. Why? I mean, but why didn't we see you in certain cliques? Why didn't I see you in Harlem Nights? Did you get that offer? Like, I feel like you would have been right along the...
Bear with my crappy Wi-Fi, y'all. Give me a second. Y'all all right? Hit that like button while you wait. Hit that subscribe button.
I just told you, 1982, I went full-time into the ministry. The Lord called me full-time into the ministry. I preached before thousands in Africa, thousands in China, in every city and hamlet in America. How old are you?
I'm 35.
It's like in America.
The reason why I laid it up in that fashion is because it seems very cliquish Hollywood from the outside looking in. Why? I mean, but why didn't we see you in certain cliques? Why didn't I see you in Harlem Nights? Did you get that offer? Like, I feel like you would have been right along the...
I just told you, 1982, I went full-time into the ministry. The Lord called me full-time into the ministry. I preached before thousands in Africa, thousands in China, in every city and hamlet in America. How old are you?
I'm 35.
I got to suit your age. That's why you don't know. I thought maybe you did your homework before you interviewed me. Hollywood, I've never had anything to do with any kind of clique. I'm not a cliquish person.
Right.
And I assume that. Followers. When I grew up, I had the kids followed me. They followed my dress style. They followed the coolness, the way I walked. When I was in the war, I was a leader. I ain't never followed nobody. So these cliques, I could tell you things about people you named that the little Fruit Loops, they bend over Billies. You cannot make it to the top in that industry without selling your soul.
What do you know about the brother that just came forward, Christian Keys? You heard of this young actor? He just came forward and said that he was sexually harassed by a billionaire Hollywood person in power. There's assumptions of names. Is that something that happened in your industry? Like, were you ever, respectfully, I'm asking you as...
Again, here you go. My industry. It's not my industry. I'm a Broadway actor. I came to Hollywood. Wait a minute. You didn't do your homework. I'm going to tell you. I came to California. I did a film in Canada called The Dealing of the Berkeley to Boston 40 Brick Bag Lost Blues. I went back to Broadway and I was at the Public Theater. Al Pacino was down there. The late Ron O'Neal was down there. You had a lot of actors that became famous that were down there working for Joe Papp in the Village at that theater. It's renowned. And Walter Mirisch from Mirisch Studio, from the Mirisch brothers, came to New York, and he cast me in my first major motion picture, The Organization, with Sidney Poitier. And that's why when I first came to California, we shot it in San Francisco, and people saw the dailies and they liked my work. And so I said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna move out there because I'm getting a lot of offers and I don't want to be doing this bi-coastal thing. So I moved to California and I did Mission Impossible and a couple of TV spots, and then All in the Family. And then I got a phone call from Bud Yorkin, and he asked me if I wanted to do a series with Red Fox. So I've never been a part of any of that nonsense. I don't respect those people. I don't care about that. I told you I had connections. Nobody was gonna say nothing to me.
I get it. And it made me think when you just said kind of the comment about some of the people that we've known in the industry and what they might have to do to get to the top. Can you give me
all of them? All of them. You name your biggest Black actors, you name your biggest white actors, you name your biggest female Latino actresses, they all have to do it.
The reason why I laid it up in that fashion is because
So he said it, not me. All right. So the thing about it is this. Now, I want to show y'all this part of the video. And this goes back to what I've been saying. Now, I'm trying to get a decent, again, I don't know why it's like halfway cut off or whatever, but see, the words of Prodigy, secret society trying to keep the eye on me, right? But he is also wearing black and white. He's also wearing Saturn colors, okay? He's wearing Saturn colors. He's wearing black and white. He's wearing black and white while he's telling the truth. This ain't coincidence. This is confirmation. He's wearing the same colors Katt wore in this video. Black, silver, white chain. Okay, talking about Holly Weird, right? Same colors he wore in the Pimp Chronicles when he was exposing Holly Weird. Is that you, Professor Ogilvy? All right, go watch that if you haven't watched it. It's hilarious. Saturn. Same colors. Same colors. Same colors. Same colors. So, Saturn is tied into the number 8. Okay, the number 8 is tied into Obatala. All right, Obatala. Right, the Orisha who created the sky and mankind. So this is directly tied into God energy. All right. It's that type of year. All right. 2020 was a 4. Double 4 is an 8. Okay. Remember what happened in 2020? This is going to be one of them years, folks, but it's going to be for inner work. All right. And you already see all the changes, all these celebrities falling, all these stars falling. All right. The Orisha, to explore the realm of Orisha Obatala and uncover rituals, prayers, and offerings to foster serenity, insight, wisdom, and enlightenment in your life. We're going to skip through. I talked about this in another video, so I'm not going to go deep into it. But the sacred numbers associated with Obatala are 8 and 16. 2024 equals 8. The numbers are especially important and frequently incorporated in rituals, offerings, and ceremonies involving Obatala. The reason for these particular numbers is deeply rooted in Yoruba numerology and tradition. All right. So this is what we're going to get into. The number 8 is associated with balance, harmony, and justice. Also Saturn. Okay. Reflecting Obatala's role as a judge and peacemaker. It symbolizes the infinite, tying into Obatala's role as timeless creator and shaper of humans. All right. So judge and peacemaker. So what happened yesterday? Let's go into another video, shall we? Yes, we shall. All right. And you'll see what happened yesterday. More signs and symbols. All right. Just make sure y'all can see this. Y'all can. All right. Let me go mute and press play.
I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of state and Nevada, this court. Can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of state and Nevada, this court.
That dude in the suit, you can tell he can't fight. He ain't never been in a fight in his life. The way he's punching. He ain't never been in a fight in his life. Look how he's punching. Hold up, let me bring it back. Look how he's punching. Look at the way his hands is. He ain't never fight a soul in his life. This is the power you have.
Get off her. Get off her. Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Stop. Don't do this. Hey, where's Mary Kay? Is she okay?
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more.
You see a judge, right? Again, let's go. Show and prove. Number 8 is associated with balance, harmony, and justice, reflecting Obatala's role as judge and peacemaker. Maybe that judge had it coming to her. Who knows? Maybe she had it coming to her. Maybe she didn't. But even if it's just a symbol of the time, right, that we're in, I ain't never seen nothing like that. He went and jumped his ass on her. Okay. So the number 8, again, representing judges. Judges wear black and white, right? Judges wear black and white. Signs and symbols, Saturn, okay? They tapped in. They know you're not tapped in. They know you're not doing no research. You know, you don't read nothing but gossip and, you know, celebrities and what the pilgrim is doing next, and CERN and monkeypox and, you know, what else? Who's celebrating New Year's the right day and who should and shouldn't celebrate Christmas, and you know, how bad the black community is and how we're going to save the black community. They know that's all y'all focus on. Y'all don't go within. So they can continue fooling y'all with y'all science. So, Loki and Ouroboros. I would encourage you, if you have Disney Plus, to watch the Loki series. It's a lot about shadow work, a lot about going into your past and reshaping it and reframing it and creating a new timeline. All right, we're in a time where you can create new timelines if you follow the laws, again, of the natural nature, right? If you are able to step into those restrictions that are implemented to keep you in your divine self and your divine state of being, you will continue to elevate. You will open up your chakras. Your kundalini will do that naturally. You will have psychic abilities. You will gain psychic powers. You will gain perception powers. You will be able to look within the now and see the future. You will gain more money. You will gain wealth. You will be sufficient. You will overcome your obstacles. You will know when to strike and when not to strike. You will know when you have to shut a motherfucker down and be Kalima, and you will know when you have to be Heru, the falcon, and be on a perch high, looking down at the world and not being involved in the world. To be in the world, but not of the world. You will know the power of free will is the ability to choose between being a savage animal, a savage, which is what celebrities like Rihanna, right? They got fragrances. You might have on your dresser right now, spraying savage or wearing savage, right? And they pump this to you, right, to put you in a certain frequency, right, for the human to think that your intellect and your smartness and your ability to work with numbers or your ability to recite information and regurgitate information makes you the most high, right? Makes you God because of how much knowledge you have and how many people laud you or applaud you because of your knowledge. What Brand Nubian said, don't let it go to your head. Don't let it go to your head. No. Don't let it go to your ego. If people are praising you, you poop and pee just like everybody else. All right. All the celebrities do. All the people on your TV do. All the people on your YouTube do. All the people on your Instagram, your Facebook feed do. No matter how deep they are, you think they are. They all got something, and we're all going through something. And every day, you got to continue this Ouroboros cycle of birth and destruction. Okay? Birth and Destruction. In Loki series, Ouroboros was the one that created the machine where he was able to time travel, because Ouroboros represents time travel, your ability to go in the past and the future. Does it mean physically? No. No. We mean spiritually, right? Meaning astral travel, right? Meaning your ability to perceive the past and the future based on your character, your way of being, right? People say, oh, I ain't with that love and light shit. I'm not about love and light. Well, love is the ultimate form of protection. If you love yourself, you're going to protect yourself. If you love yourself, you're going to take care of your family. If you love yourself, you want the best for your children. If you love yourself, you want the best for your community. If you love yourself, you want to shine when you're at work. You want to shine at your place of business. You want to shine in whatever you're creating as far as your own business. If you love yourself, you're not going to let people play you. If you love yourself, you're going to set up boundaries to avoid problems and traumas and bad relationships. So you're going to set up boundaries in the relationship early because you love yourself enough to know how you want to be loved and what you won't tolerate. Light is information. So you get perception and information of who's fucking with you, how to deal with them, when you should strike, when you should not strike, what you should let go, what you should move forward with, what's worth your time and attention, what's not worth your time and attention. Light is information, ultimately. So people say they're not about love and light, but that's a trauma response based on these harsh urban environments we come from, based on our parents and the things we went through with childhood, with brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, friends, relationships. So it's a trauma response that we got to be tough, that we got to be gangsters, that we got to be hyper aggressive and defensive because of where we come from. No, we got to be light. And light is a fire. And that light will burn down whatever is not for you, right? And will show you the path that is for you at the same time. And will blaze a trail that is for you at the same time. So your Ouroboros, this infinite entity of birth and destruction, is what takes place every time you wake up and you go through another day. Because you don't know if today is the last day. You don't know that. Today could be the last day. Let's hope it's not, right? But no one knows the day and the time. So every day you should have a morning ritual at the very least. At the very least. And if it takes you waking up another extra hour or half hour to do it, so be it. Nobody cares about you. So you got to go to bed a little earlier, then so be it. Is it worth having the success, the finances, the love, the company, the people, the opportunities, the magic, the psychic abilities? Is it worth you waking up an hour early? Is it worth you reading books and studying yourself, learning your numerology, learning your astrology as far as your astrological chart, learning what angels govern you, learning the day you were born and how that energy helps you and how it makes you lucky? Is it worth the knowledge of self to gain all these things? Or is it better to just be a regular human and try your best? Just doing whatever you want to do, silly human. So, and I'm not saying, if you got super toxic people in your life, a super toxic family, you can't be around them. I got that too, But remember, they have a history too, And there's nothing wrong with separating yourself. And when you talk about someone, when you berate somebody, you're really doing that to yourself. And there's nothing wrong with separation, right? But there is something with thinking you better and you don't have your own problems and issues that you're going through. And some are worse than others, obviously. All right, y'all. So I do have a membership available, okay? I have a membership I started. Join the membership. I'll be pumping this more. We're going to be doing a journey into Christ consciousness, all right? Doing Leave the World Behind. Plan on watching the whole video with you, all right? I haven't watched many people's breakdowns of it, but I know they didn't show this as a journey into Christ consciousness. I'm almost 1,000,000% positive that they just showed you the, Freemason, maybe the, the terroristic aspects, the prepare and get your flashlights and your water and all that shit up. I'm sure that's what they went through. All right. But this is really a movie of divinity, if you understand what you're looking at in the symbolism. And through this video, I think I've shown and proven that I have a little bit of an understanding of sign and symbolism, and I can show you it through different lenses. And I will, took a long time with y'all, but I hope this was worth it. I hope you look for the jewels. If you do watch that Katt Williams video, I do hope you look for the jewels in it. If you have any questions, you could drop it. But yeah, like Ultra Instinct said, man, do the work, do the work. Listen to something funny before you go out to work today. If you're watching this, listen to something that's going to make you laugh. Go to work in a good mood. Be the light at work. And listen, somebody might test you. Somebody might test your ass. That's part of the work too. That's part of the work. That's part of the work. Will you still be a god amongst the chaos? Will you still be a god? Will you still be able to utilize whatever needs to be used at whatever time? All right. Join the membership. There's going to be stuff in the membership where I'm only doing membership videos just like this, right? Decodes and stuff like that. I'm probably just going to be doing membership videos. That's where I'm going next, because this shit takes time, and I sacrifice my gym for y'all, but it's worth it at the end of the day. All right. So anybody has any questions, you can put it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer them. I'll give y'all a couple of seconds, maybe a minute or so, till I hit the 2:30 mark. If I don't see anything, then I'll assume you guys know everything. But definitely hit the membership. Inexpensive. There's different tiers if you want. Some tiers where we'll be doing meditations, group meditations. Shout out to Ultra Instinct, new member. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, so he's going to be there when we do this video. Most likely he's going to be next Sunday where I'm doing the video, Journey into Christ Consciousness. All right. And I'm going to break this down symbolically and, again, show you how you can use this to your benefit. In the membership, I'll be giving you tools that you can use. All right. That I've used, tools to improve your memory even, right? Tools to tap into and open your third eye. Tools to tap into and allow you to become lighter at heart, lighter at spirit, right? There's some things that I talk about and there's some things I don't talk about on YouTube. Because this is a lot of work, a lot of research. I mean, I could show you like tons of books, right? That are at my nightstand and bedside, all right? So definitely, I don't see any video. Yeah, go. It should be at the bottom. It should be in the video. At the what you call it. But if y'all have problems figuring it out, shit, I'll try to make it clearer in the description when I update it. But right now, I'm going to relax. I don't see any questions, so I'm going to relax for a little while, get prepared for work. And I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate your energy. If you're new, go back and watch this video, please. It's jam-packed with a lot of gems, and I think you'll benefit from it. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I don't see any questions. So peace, power, prosperity. Rob Blackstone. Oh, and hit the shop too. You should see the shop button in this video somehow, some way. So hit the shop. I do have merch in the shop if you're interested. All right. Raise your vibration merch. All right. Because we need to raise our vibration for sure. For sure. That's what the chakra work is about. That's what this journey is about. That's what this Saturn energy is about. Building and destroying the old and building the new. All right. Peace, y'all.